There have been many iconic sponsor partnerships over the years in F1, so here are some of our favourites from down the years. The well-known Camera brand was a heavy hitter in the 90s and 80s with Williams. After the 1993 season, we wouldn't see them in F1 for another 16 years. However, Braun GP at the 2009 Singapore Grand Prix partnered with the iconic Camera brand. 2009 has been their last involvement in Formula 1, and we haven't seen them since. Red Bull is a juggernaut in F1, both on the track and globally in sponsorship. But many of you didn't know that the first Red Bull sponsor in F1 wasn't actually on a car, it was for a driver. In 1989, Gerhard Berger was the first ever Red Bull athlete. The Austrian brand then reached out to teams, and the first team they ever sponsored? Sauber. In 2004 they also sponsored Jaguar, and then buying the team for 2005 and running Red Bull Racing as we know it today. Speaking of Sauber, there's also a sponsor that you see on their car that might be familiar to you now. Yes, that's right, Petronas. Petronas is the Malaysian-backed fuel company, and it was first on the Sauber car in the 90s through to the early 2000s. Then famously they became sponsorships with BMW Sauber and then progressed into the Mercedes sponsorship for 2010. They are currently sponsoring the 2021 team as well. The days of cigarette sponsorships in Formula 1 are over. Well, a lot later than you think. Marlboro were the sponsors of McLaren and Ferrari back in the 70s and 80s, and progressing through to the 90s and to the early 2000s, Marlboro were prevalent on a number of teams' cars. However, after the cigarette ban for sponsorships in Formula 1, the branding for the teams became a little bit more trickier, so Marlboro branched out to sponsoring Ferrari, but in a sneakier sort of way. Mission Winnow was the sponsor for Ferrari from 2018 right through to 2021. However, the ban for the sponsorship has now been put in place and Ferrari no longer have branding on their car. Let us know your favourite sponsorships in F1. We'd love to hear them in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe to Crash F1 for more content.